It's about learning how to like not be in the fear of like trying again. But it's not just the trying again, it's more so of the being in the fear of like the outcome of like if it's gonna work out, if it's not gonna work out. And that kind of relates to like, you know, real life situations where, you know, it's the fear of doing something the right way that allows us to cycle back or like relapse into like our old ways of doing something, because the old ways are more comfortable. You know how to do that, you know? So it's easier to respond or act from what you already know versus than trying something new that requires you to step outside of what you know, which is the unknown, you know? And like I was in the kitchen cooking, and I remember I kept hearing like fearing the unknown, fearing the unknown. And like that's the biggest thing in the world right now that people are struggling with, fear. It's the fear of a lot of things, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of telling the truth, feeling of getting in trouble, fear, all these fears that rule and run the way we live. And that's the biggest part that we have to set ourselves apart from, you know, the fear, taking ourselves out of that mentality or that state that like, you know, it's okay to do things the same, which in some sense, yeah, but when you know that there's a need of change or like you feel yourself wanting to do something differently, but then you start getting all those thoughts like, but then what if it don't work out? But then what if I don't do it right? But then what if I don't? That's that fear taking over in your mind. So you're being too logical versus when you clear that and you ground that fear down and then you start tapping to the heart space, you're going to feel what you need to do. You're going to feel how you need to move, or you're going to like get that intuitive nudge of like what's gonna be the best choice or the best decision. So even if you don't know what the right choice or the wrong choice is, right? Listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. It's gonna give you that key piece of information that you need to make that choice, to make that decision, to take a certain route, to not take a certain route. But it's about stepping outside that fear of the outcome or the fear of like the unknown, like not knowing how you'll go, where you'll go, how you'll do it, if you'll do it right. It's about taking that chance, you know? And that's where you gotta start building that trust within the universe to like push you, guide you, support you when you don't feel supported by your own self because you have that fear of not feeling capable, you know? We're only incapable because we tell ourselves we're incapable. That's the whole limiting, right? The limiting belief, right? You only tell yourself or you only look at yourself from a certain perspective because that's all you've acted out of. You haven't stepped outside of that. So it's like you keep telling yourself, oh, this is all I'm worth. This is all I'll ever be, because that's the way that you're looking at it. That's the way so how you think, because your thoughts and your feelings manifest your reality. So if you feel like you ain't worth it, you ain't doing like, think about where you're at now. And some people ain't in a bad space, but some people ain't where they really want to be, right? But think about the thoughts and feelings that you have all the time that go into manifesting this reality that you're living, or this world that you're creating. Keyword world, right? Because we're in the world now, but you also can create your own world, which is that starts to tap into more of the individuality of you versus in living as a collective or society. You know, the ego attaching itself to this, what society says, what people say, what your family say, what the world says that you should be, shouldn't be, do, shouldn't do. You know, you start tapping into your own individuality of what you feel is the best move, what you feel is the right path for you, you know? And the thing that's gonna pull you, guide you, or take you to that place that you truly want to go. But it's also about realizing that you can have that opportunity, you know? But you gotta take that risk to step into it versus then being in the fear of if it's gonna work out, or if it's gonna turn out right, or if you're gonna make the right decision, or if you're gonna do it the right way. You know, like what is the right way? The right way is what your mind makes up to try to tell you is the right way. So that's why a lot of times you kind of see like, nah, that's not gonna be a good route. You know, that's because your mind is trying to create all these scenarios to play it out to where you don't have to face the consequences or something. But you gotta face the consequences, because how else would you learn? How else would you move through these lessons if you're just avoiding and running from things because of the fear? So there may be a fear too, like a fear of like getting in trouble, or a fear of not being wrong, but like some type of fear of just like getting called out. I don't know. It's kind of giving the energy of like trying to avoid like something. I don't know. But what I realized is that, you know, it takes some time. Changes take time, but it's about every day you counting. Like, think about people who like go through like, you think about those people who be like, damn, it's been 30 some days since I've drunk, or it's been 60 days since I've last cut. You know, a lot of those people, right, they're pushing themselves to like make those changes day after day after day. You know, but it's about like what motivates you to make that change. You know, and if you don't have no motivation, then of course you're gonna stay doing the same thing because it's comfortable. It's comfortable to feel like you got it your way. Like, oh, I can control this. You know. That's the ego. The ego attaches itself to things that it can control. But when it can't control, what it do? It abandons, or it like tries to like, you know, go try to control something that it can't control. But that's not supposed to be like the point of, you know, that's the ego. That's you trying to, as I like to say, you know, play God, you know, crown chakra energies, you know, controlling the outcomes your way. And if it don't go your way, then you feel like, oh, well, let me just move over here, like, you know. But that's where you got to see that it's not going to always be about how you want to control it. It's about what is the best route, or what is the best decision, what is the best move, versus like, okay, what can I do to get the best, what, like, because that's the thing, the ego will I don't know, I keep getting like escaping, like, the ego will find things to try to escape to or escape from. So when you're thinking you're finding solutions, in you know, logically, you're not really thinking about how you feel, you know. But that's why sometimes karma happens, because it's supposed to get you to that point to where you realize everything and you process decisions, how you handle, how you see, how you view, how you assume, like, it's all being wrapped in one. But you have to be in that space to understand, you know, because a lot of times we don't understand because we're always like on the go. We don't have enough sit down quiet time. We always in our phones listening to music, talking to other people. Like, when you don't have that space by yourself, it's hard for you to really connect inwards and really look at the facts, look at the truth, look at your reality, you know, because you're living the reality of everybody else that's around you. You're consumed by what they have put into what your reality is, versus then you saying what your reality is. So that's all I got for y'all today. I hope this helps somebody out there, or helped you gain understanding of, you know, how to face fear and the unknown, and, you know, facing, making the changes and making the decisions that can help you, will help you, you know. But you got to trust it. You got to trust that guidance. Ask your guides, ask your angels, ask God, hell, you know, for that advice, for that, what you should be doing, or like how you should be handling something. And then be open to receiving the answers to that. Because a lot of times that's what factors into, like, we ask for stuff, but then we not opening ourselves up to like receive what we ask for. Or like I said, crown chakra energy, you try to play it your way, like, oh, but damn, you know.